So, it's almost Christmas time, and I thought it would be fun to utilize our pumpkin left from Halloween. And I think that a good way to make pumpkin pie is to have a base of creamy pumpkin. You can buy pumpkin already in the stores in cans, but most of us bought pumpkins for Halloween and we don't know what to do with them. If you bake your pumpkin, it's going to make it roast into a really creamy, flavorful, intense pumpkin taste. And I thought it would be nice to show you guys the easiest thing to do. So I have a knife and I have a fork. Santa Claus! You made it!
Hello, little Joycelyne. How are you?
I've been good. Very good. But when I'm bad, I'm even better.
Well, you know, the bad girls are the ones having all the fun.
That's right. So.
And Santa does like the bad girls.
I know Santa likes his pumpkin pie.
Oh, he likes his pumpkin pie, too.
I can see.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't miss the meal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like pumpkin pie. I like all that other stuff that goes with it. You know, the red stuff. What do you call that red stuff again?
Cranberry sauce?
Yeah, that's it. Them cranberries. Yeah. And then that other stuff.
Well, I'm going to show you how we're going to make pumpkin from leftover pumpkin from Halloween.
That's leftover
really
from Halloween?
Well, yes, it is. And we don't want to waste it. And you know, the watery stuff you get out of the can, and if you boil the pumpkin, it gets really watery. But if you bake it, it gets creamy and roasted and yummy.
Oh, God, it sounds good.
It is good. So anyway, okay, now there's two ways you could do it. You want to puncture it to kind of give it air, just like you would like when you bake a potato so it doesn't explode. So I'm just going to give it some air holes. Oh,
you punch
yes,
them, they don't explode, huh?
Because if you don't, they can pop. Have you ever had an exploded potato? But
No.
then again, Santa, I know all you do is boil water.
You want me to? Yeah, I boil water.
You want to do one?
I can boil water with the best of it.
I've seen.
Yeah. So we do just.
That's good enough. Okay, that's
Feels
enough.
kind of good.
Santa,
Okay.
put it down.
Okay.
Put it down.
All right.
The elves will not be happy if you get violent.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
That's right.
now,
Okay.
I have a no-stick pan, but just to make sure, I've got some parchment paper here, and I'm going to put some to line the bottom. Now, the thing you can do is, you can also use tin foil. Aluminum foil is actually what it is. Why do they say tin? It's not tin. Anyway, so I'm just going to plop this on. This is so simple. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to cut it. I mean, if it's a really big pumpkin, you can cut it and lay it down and take the seeds out. But I'm doing the easy way. This is the easy way to do it. And I'm just going to stick it in my Wolfgang Puck oven, which is on a timer.
That's a genuine Wolfgang Puck onion.
Yes, it's a Novo Pro oven. Uh-oh, this won't fit. We have to cut the top off. We have to cut the little stem. Santa Claus, you're good at that. Can you just cut his little stem off?
Right up here?
Yes, as much as you want.
Bringing out my inner logger. You know, we do this up in Alaska, the North Pole, a lot, cutting down stuff. Boy, oh boy, this thing is tough. There.
There you go.
Just judo chop the damn thing.
Oh, did you use a bad word?
Chop? No, chop.
No,
chop's not a bad word. Chop's not a bad word.
No,
Neither is judo. Judo's not a bad word. I did?
Yes, you did. Wash your mouth out with soap. We don't speak that way in our little household. So,
see, most people don't know Santa can hoof too.
I noticed. So can your Rudolph hoofs? That's why he's got 4 hoofs. He's a hoofer.
Oh.
You got a whole sleigh full.
4 hoofs.
Yes.
4.
So we'll be right back in an hour. Meanwhile, let's practice.
Merry Christmas! Ho, ho, ho!
Don't put it here. Forward. You see it's brown, and so this pumpkin is ready to cut. You can also tell if it's done by piercing it, and it's nice and tender. So let's cut this open. This is cooled off now, so it's not hot. Oh, it's warm, but it's not hot, hot, hot. So we're going to cut this in half easily. And take a look at how beautiful it looks inside. So now, to get rid of the seeds, and the seeds are the best part, well, one of the best parts, you can scoop them out. Now this pumpkin isn't all that big, so if you have a big pumpkin, you can use a scooper. I'm using a scooper anyway. But this is small inside, smaller than I thought it was going to be. And there's a lot of netting, so you have to make sure that you get all of the netting out. And you can pull it out. And we're going to clean that separately with a colander. If you want to look inside, I'll show you the inside of this. This is what it looks like. I'll lift it up so you can see this pumpkin is cooked, and I'm just pulling out the seed area. And the seed has netting, and these seeds we're going to roast separately, and they're going to be delicious. So it's a great snack. So I'm going to do that on both sides. Take all of this out. After we take the seeds out, we're going to wash them and we're going to roast them back into the oven. But what I do is I usually put them in a pie pan that fits into my toaster oven. It saves energy and you're not wasting the whole oven just to keep seeds roasted. So this is pretty much the pumpkin, and we're going to let that cool. We're going to hollow it out, because now that everything is cooked, you can literally peel this back. You can peel off this with a knife, and then you'll have just the pumpkin by itself to prepare for pies or custards or whatever you like. Okay, that looks good. So here's cleaned out pumpkin. You want to make sure this netting is all out too, and we can pull that out and put that in a blender, and we'll make a nice pulp for pumpkin pie or pumpkin puree. I like to use all that out, all this, so it's all clean inside. It's best to take a metal now, because this is small. I actually would get a teaspoon and hollow out all the netting to make sure it's all gone. Okay, now that I've taken by hand out most of the netting, like the big pieces, I'm going to take what's left and put it into a bowl. So now I put some water in the seeds, and what floats to the top are the seeds. So you can just take them off and stick them into your pie pan, because that's what I'm going to roast them in. So just kind of separate them with your hands, and then take the seeds by themselves and just lay them out on the pan. Alright, so I put water in the bowl, and most of the seeds came to the top. You don't want to use the kind of new seeds when there's nothing in it. And I've taken and I'm blotting out with a paper towel most of the liquid. So we're going to roast the seeds and lay them out. And I'm just getting some of the netting out with the paper towel. And so what I have here is a layer of seeds as dry as I can get. And then I'm going to put some oil. I'm using virgin olive oil, and you can use butter depending on your taste. I'm going to take 2 paper towels just to make sure I've got most of this moisture out of it. That way it'll roast faster. And taking out all the netting I can get. So what we have are just the seeds, and I'm going to just sprinkle a bit of oil on top. And I've got just a little bit. You can use butter, as I said. And then some sea salt. And shake that up. And then let it spread on the bottom. And then stick it. I'm using a pie plate because it fits well into the toaster oven. And you don't want to, I'm just going to do 10 minutes just to make sure. I'm going to put it on toast. And I'm going to put it about 250 because I don't want it to burn. And we'll let that roast. And now that this is dry, we can scoop out this and stick this into my Vitamix blender and pulverize it into a nice puree. Do you see how nice and soft this is? This is the pulp, and I'll show you what that looks like. Now that the pumpkin is cooked, I'm going to scoop it into my blender. It's soft now, so I'm just going to take pieces of it that I've scooped out and hollow it out, and then I'm going to stick it in the blender and make a pulp. So I'll just do a little at a time so we don't work out my blender so much. Okay, so then let me just grab a little bit more. And then I'll put it in here. So now that we've blended this pumpkin puree, it's nice and creamy and smooth, and we can just refrigerate this for use in our next pumpkin recipe for pies. And we're going to process all of this, and we can either freeze it or we can put it in the refrigerator. We can use it a little bit. So and we have plenty left. We haven't even used all of it, so it's going to make a really nice base for pumpkin bread, pumpkin pie, pumpkin soup. There's all kinds of things you can do with it. It's similar to squash. It is a squash, and you can make it savory with spices, or you can make it sweet. And let's see how the seeds are doing. So the seeds should be done. They cooled off, and we've got some toasty, delicious, crunchy seeds, and they're already salted. And so you just can store this in a bag, and you can have this for a nice snack. It'll add crunchiness and fiber to your diet. So this is what we did with our Halloween pumpkin. We made pulp, and we made the crunchy seeds that we roasted. So happy ex-Halloween. Moving on to Christmas, and we'll be right back with some more Christmas things soon. Thank you for joining us for our first Christmas dish. Now, Merry Christmas from Bill Perron as Santa Claus.
I don't know who this Bill Perron character is. I am Santa Claus. She's mistaken for somebody else, I'm sorry. She's eating too much of their Christmas spirit, you might say.
I don't eat very much. Okay, now our famous dog Cookie, and this is our cameraman and editor, Kim Tamara.